Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Benjamin, a student helper for the SIIFC event. Right now, we would like to begin the SUSS NiFT segment. So without further ado, I would like to pass on the time to the speaker. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks a lot for coming to this session. My name is Ying Hui. Some of you may know me already. So I look after the postgraduate programs in finance and fintech at SUSS, Singapore University of Social Sciences. It's a really pleasure today for me to be able to share with you our recently relaunched SUSS node for Inclusive Fintech. As you may know, SUSS is one of the 6 autonomous universities in Singapore with the vision to be the leading university for social good. We offer more than 80 undergraduate and graduate programs, and we have over 38,000 alumni and around 15,000 active students every year. Our education philosophy can be summarized by 3 H's, which is head, heart, and habit. Head refers to professionally competent and job ready with applied skills. Heart means our students are expected to be socially conscious with a desire to make positive changes in society. And habit means a student should be a self-directed and lifelong learner with strong ethics and values. So we try to equip our students with these 3 essential qualities through our curriculum and education. So bearing that in mind, then it might not be surprising that when we relaunch our initiatives in fintech and blockchain, we are naming it SUSS Node for Inclusive Fintech. It's actually our center of excellence to spearhead all the fintech initiatives at the university. It is a multi-disciplinary center, drawing the expertise of our faculty members across all the 5 schools and their collective publications and programs. So the node of Inclusive Fintech at SUSS serves to deliver high-quality research, public education, and policy advocacy for inclusivity in the fintech sector for the benefit of society. Why do we decide to call it a node and not a center? Because a node contains data and has linkages to other nodes, and it reflects the spirit of SUSS in this sphere, which is inclusivity, subsidiarity, solidarity, and contributory. Our team is led by Prof. David Lee. He will be the node advisor, and Dr. Lo Shui Wang will be the node lead. If you're familiar with SUSS, you may know that we've been working in fintech and blockchain domains since as early as 2016, and we've had established a team of over 20 faculty members working in this field. Now I'm just displaying a few members, and so that you can see that we're really from diverse background, including finance, mathematics, engineering, and computer applications. I think this is really reflecting that we're really doing this by a multidisciplinary angle. So it's actually a relaunch. Since back in 2016, we've been running the website SUSS blockchain, and our past events and workshops are still available at that website. we have organized and will continue to organize fintech-related conferences, seminars, and workshops with our fellows, partners, and speakers from all over the world. This is a screenshot from SUSSblockchain.com. It shows you the past, the events we held in the past few months. Now, before I forget, these are the upcoming events and workshops. If you're interested, you can take a look and register early. First of all, this Friday is SG Blockchain Day on the 12th November, and Prof. Lee is going to give a talk on meta finance, financial services in the metaverse. I think this is something not to be missed. If you're interested, you can register now. We're also partnering up with Global FinTech Institute, and we developed a one-day program for the SME Day scheduled tomorrow. Basically, we devised 8 sessions and 32 MCQs for the participants. Then participants who successfully pass the assessment at the end of the program will be presented certificate of knowledge, digital transformation of businesses. All right, within the node, we have 2 labs. The first is Metaverse Lab. It's established to study and investigate the combination of physical and virtual world with a decentralized web that allows sharing, attention, contributory, and platform economies. The topics will research on and will involve students where possible, include non-fungible tokens, and human-like AI in the metaverse, regulation and governance in the metaverse, cryptocurrencies, and decentralized finance, and CBDC, smart contract, blockchain, etc. This is a workshop that will be hosted by the Metaverse Lab, how cryptocurrencies reinvent finance and property and unlock value via tokenization. So it's scheduled on 25th and 26th November, and the registration is open now. The other lab is Project Sunshine Living Lab. This is interoperability living lab, and it is to bring inclusive blockchain technologies to the real world, enabled by connectivity and blockchain support implemented Meshbox and Smart Mesh. You can scan the code to find out how it will transform the day-to-day life on campus. We'll have a token economy in action. SUSS will become the beacon node on the Smart Mesh network, and I will run a staking economy within the campus. The courses, research, and labs will be run in totally different way, and we'll have virtual and on-chain events and conferences at SUSS. The Sunshine Living Lab was formerly the Blockchain Living Lab, which was the first living lab in Singapore. And we've been running a series of workshops since 2020. This is the workshops in year 2020, and we had an 8-day workshop series in June to August 2020. And on the right-hand side are the 16 teams that enter the final blockchain challenge. This year, we're coming back with the SUSS Smart Mesh workshops, technical track. So it's a 60-hour practical and hands-on coding workshop. The dates are from December the 1st to January 26th next year. I'm listing the practical component learning outcomes here. So basically, participants will learn how to implement full modern technology stack for web developments, how to develop smart contracts, how to design system architecture for the app, how to create ERC20 token, and how to construct smart contracts onto blockchain. Next year, a Meta Life workshop series, which is a business track, is also in pipeline. We're scheduling it for summer holidays because we're offering all these workshops for free to our students. It will be a 60-hour highly interactive and engaging workshop for participants to ramp up on the latest business models for next generation Web 3.0. All these workshops are supported by SUSS, Inclusive Fintech Fund, whose aim is to support the university to bridge communities from the academia and industry to learn from each other on the latest and most relevant topics on fintech, blockchain, and cryptocurrencies. I can scan the code to find more about the fund. So as a note, we have a long list of publication. This is just a screenshot of the recent few. These are the journal articles, and we have books and chapters and industry publications. Just to showcase, this is our SUSS and World Scientific Future Economy series. We're using a few of these books as textbooks for our students. For example, volume 1 is on AI and quantum computing for finance and insurance. Volume 3 is on artificial intelligence, data and blockchain in the digital economy. These two are more recent, and it's included in the postgrad program curriculum, which is blockchain and smart contracts, and the digital transformation of property in Greater China. There are a few more volumes upcoming. The forthcoming one is in December, is a financial management in the digital economy. You may see chapters written by our students as well. Our programs and courses in fintech. For undergraduate level, we offer Bachelor of Science in Finance, Bachelor of Science in Finance with minor. The guiding principle is we want to build a foundation in computational thinking and technological skills. And we offer electives spread over a conventional finance basket as well as a fintech basket. So if you look at the courses we offer at the undergraduate level, for example, this is for a part-time Bachelor of Science and Finance student. Then we have data technologies for financial modeling, game theory and design thinking, which is really useful when we talk about token economy. We have mathematics and programming for fintech. These are all compulsory courses. And in the electives of fintech basket, we have machine learning and AI for fintech. We have risk management for finance and technology. We have blockchain technology and smart contract in finance. We have financial cryptography. And the latest addition is the computational law in token economy. For postgraduate level, we focus on financial technology and financial innovation as well. And we offer stackable programs. So students can take a graduate certificate, graduate diploma as well as master. Our master finance program will prepare students for the Chartered Fintech Professional Level 2 exam, and our graduates are exempted from the CFtP Level 1 exams. Later, GFI will introduce more about the CFtP certification. This is our curriculum structure. Basically, we approach fintech from a few different angles. On the programming and coding side, every student needs to start with Python programming course. And if they're more into financial technology, then we have technological innovation in finance course. And then we have big data, cloud computing, and machine learning. Then we have machine learning, deep learning, and application in finance course. For people who are more into blockchain, we have blockchain technologies, application and challenges. Then we have blockchain security and privacy. Then we have further hands-on multi-chain programming and Solidity programming courses. These are the courses we offer in January semester and July semester separately. And these are offered both under the program and also on a modular basis. At SUSS, we encourage students to explore other domains via unrestricted electives. This is the link where you can see our list of over 170 postgraduate electives across all the schools. This is a list of our core master finance electives. Under master finance itself, we are offering more fintech and wealth management courses. For example, there's financial management for fintech professionals. This is suitable for people from tech background but wish to learn about more about financial products and markets. We have Solidity programming and in pipeline JavaScript programming. This is for people from finance or business background to upskill their programming and coding skills. Some of the popular electives. There's electives from analytics program, for example, data visualization and storytelling, data wrangling, and hyper automation. We also have courses in compliance, such as compliance, regulation, and regulatory environment, compliance risk framework, etc. We also have electives from human capital management and IP and innovation management. Up to half of the program is Youth Futures funded. You can find out more about the funding at this link. Okay, this is really my highlight of the session. I wish to present you some of our students working in fintech domain. They might not be keynote speakers of fintech festival yet, but I think they are making solid progress and pursuing their dreams. We're just very happy that our program can be of assistance. Anisha has been with SUSS for her bachelor degree study as well as master degree study. his co-founder and now CEO of IBG Finance. She's a domain expert in blockchain, fintech, and digital transformation, and she has established a portfolio in many fintech projects, such as MDA's PIPO and CBDC research projects. Brandon is a leader of EPM at KPMG right now. She's been with us since 2016, working on his bachelor and the master degrees. He has experience across various domains. I think along the way, the program is just very happy to render support, and it's really a pleasure to see how he grows and progresses. Jerry is from engineering background. He became passionate about blockchain and cryptocurrency technologies since 2017. He is currently a master finance student and studying part-time. He's working as director for B Finance and cross-chain protocol, taking charge of global market, products operations, tech writing, partnership, and business cooperation. Recently, he also became a CBB industry researcher. I think his interest is in blockchain and metaverse. Wayne is head of OTC desk and chief trainer and big data exchange. And he's been with SUSS student alumni since 2008. So he did his bachelor degree back then, and now he's coming back for master study. He has over 10 years of trading experience on various asset classes. And now the asset classes include cryptocurrency as well. He's also an ACTA certified trainer. Yusek is a senior project manager with One Connect Financial Technology. He said, and I quote, I have more than 15 years experience as IT professional in financial service industry. Currently, I'm leading project to build smart lending platform, which is powered by big data analytics and AI-enabled eKYC. I pursued SUSS Master Finance, and it complements my technical experience with future technology and financial knowledge for the next step in my career. So these are just a few examples from our existing students and alumni. So then the SUSS node for Inclusive Fintech will offer all the support and the resources to all our students, both at the undergrad and postgrad level. So our belief is that it's inclusive, not exclusive. That's the spirit of SUSS and FinTech. Coming next, our partner Global GFI, Global FinTech Institute, will introduce their CFtP certification. If you want to contact us, these are our emails. For the node, it's nift@suss.edu.sg, and Prof. Chonghui and myself will be happy to answer any inquiries on the programs and courses. Looking at the, yes.
Hi, Yui.
Hi.
Hi, I think there's a question from Chai Zhu, right? He's asking about any SUSS collaboration with startups, and it looks like he needs blockchain tech support.
Yes, reading the question.
Yep.
Yes, sure. At our SUSS node, we do a lot of collaboration with industry, and definitely we can have a more detailed discussion offline.
Yeah, can you, in this case, how can I contact you? By the email that you listed down?
Yeah. Yes, any of this email can, or you can find me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, given in the interest of time, there's only 5 minutes left. So I'm just thinking, like, you know, I have heard a lot of, I know Prof. David and then other groups have done. Are there a lot of collaborations with the industry that SUSS is currently engaging? I saw those success stories of students. Thanks for sharing that. What maybe can kind of paint like the picture of what kind of collaborations, fintech collaborations that SUSS is currently engaging. I know that we have very little time, so maybe that could be.
Yes, so and more on the program side. So more on the educational side, I know we're working with British Blockchain Association. We're working with GFI. We are working with universities in China, like Shanghai Economics and Finance University, or collaborating with universities from UK. Industry side, first of all, I think Smart Mesh is really a close, very close partner. We've established a living lab on campus. So basically, we have the infrastructure for building blockchain projects on top of the network on campus, and then we're ready to launch this token economy on campus. So where will be there will be like a staking economy where when people live their day-to-day life on campus, whether it's attending classes, dining or shopping, even including the merchants on campus, there will be tokens generated. So it will be an ideal experiment for the token economy. If further like pure, and we are receiving a lot of collaboration requests as far as I know, and for some of them we are yet to reply, but there are quite a few in pipeline. I'll let Prof. Lee know, so maybe we can give you a more detailed briefing maybe a few days later.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for that information. I mean, I know there's a lot of exciting things that SUSS is engaging on in the blockchain space, and for questions like from Chai Zhu, I'm very sure it's a question asked by many of the fintech startups. Where can we find a blockchain expert? How can I engage them? Now that I know that you can be a point of contact, thank you so much for your presentation.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
All right, I think our time is up. Benjamin, is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll stop sharing.
All right. So thank you so much again for coming to share with us the courses available at SUSS, and thank you all for participating. I hope you continue to explore, and I think there's sessions coming up that I highly recommend by Strength Asia on everything is conversation. All right. With that, do come back and visit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we would like to now move on to the next segment on SUSS CFtP. So without further ado, I'd like to pass on to the speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Benjamin, and thank you, Ying Hui, for sharing about the NiFT initiative. Can I be heard clearly? Great, okay. Yes, so the second part of this session is about the Chartered Fintech Professional program. Not knowing who exactly my audience are going to be, so I prepared a general deck that we typically use to recommend to use to introduce the program to a wide spectrum of audience. My name is Xuan Hui. I head up the marketing and the operations at Global FinTech Institute, which is a not-for-profit company that is incorporated in Singapore. And one of our main programs now is the running of this pioneering professional qualification called the Chartered Fintech Professional. And before I actually go into the program introduction, I would just like to share a few questions and lines of thoughts before we actually embark on the program introduction. So I very often tell people who inquire about CFtP, are you very sure that you want to do you need this qualification, or are you looking for a very general fintech intro, or blockchain intro, AI intro kind of short course, right? So to answer that question, I think that there needs to be a knowledge, understanding about what is the skill set needed if you are really thinking about entering this space. So I want to share the context. This is a slide that I basically ripped off one of Prof. David Lee's lectures, or rather a sharing session that we conducted with NUS School of Business, the BBA students and the Master of Finance students. And this partly struck me. I think context is always very important before you make any decisions, be it investments or be it self-investment, in this case, taking a professional qualification. So these are the 6 Ds that I think everyone should bear in mind before you even, when you start to think how you want to upgrade and what kind of career move you're going to make in the future. So the 6 Ds are digitalization. I think this goes without saying. Everyone knows what this is about. Disintermediation, democratization. Okay, so we increasingly see digital technology helping people who are currently underserved, and that's the beauty of fintech. Decentralization. We have so much talk about CBDCs and so forth, and diminishing oneself. That's what NiFT was about. That's why the I in the NiFT is a small letter, and data privacy protection. So in the context of how the world is currently evolving, then the question to ask is, how do you position yourself in this context of the rapidly changing world? And of course, COVID has accelerated a lot of these right? How things have happened and turnover, how tides have turned over the past 2 years. So and to question, how do you position yourself before you even think about doing a PQ? First, I think this is a few points we wanted to make. First, you should need to understand the capabilities of technology. That you must have the ability to strategize using knowledge of technology. You need to expand your network to understand who, what, and when it matters, and knowing who can deliver and mentor you when you need this kind of help, and where the growth is. So apparently, I assume that any of you who are sitting inside here, you must be somewhat interested or related to fintech and blockchain domain. That's why you are here. Or if you are a young student or someone who's thinking of career change, then I think these are the questions that you need to ask yourself. And if this is for you, if fintech domain is something that you're very keen to enter, whether on whichever facets of fintech industry, then listen on, right? So this slide, I found it particularly interesting, because when we often get the question, before we even start a conversation about the Chartered Fintech Professional, people will ask, what is in it for me, for my career? Why should I do a CFtP? I mean, it's brand new. It's not unlike the likes of CAIA and CFA, which has been around for decades. this is so new. So why should I invest the time and money in this new program? So and this is I think a very nice thought-provoking answer that I would like to share. So actually I'm new to the fintech industry myself, and but of course I have been on a very steep curve myself over the past few months, and actually based on what we understood, that in most of the fintech companies, we are still looking at a 30-70 kind of ratio. We don't look at a house full of only tech people doing full stack development and so forth. We are looking at people who understand fintech, but they manage the operations, the finance, the corporate development, the strategy, sales, and marketing of fintech companies. So that's where the 30-70 comes about. And these are where the opportunities lies as well, right? So we look at notions or concepts, for example, techies versus tech savvy, fintech savvy versus finance savvy. And data scientists versus being data users, fintech marketing versus finance marketing. So these are where we see the upticks in the whole fintech employment landscape are. And of course, I think the past 2 years, the fintech industry has seen a very good growth trajectory, and employment sentiments are high, and with so much developments and new growth in the market, I think career opportunities are abundant. And this brings me to the next point. So who are the CFTP candidates? So before I even tell you more about the program, I think it's important to share. It's also helpful for people to know who are the people who are taking the program now, and then from there it's up to your imagination, why did these people take the programs, right? But I can categorize our current CFTP candidates into these 4 categories. First, we have young graduates, early career professionals, and they are in the midst or have joined the fintech industry already. We have people working in digital exchanges, in blockchain companies, and so forth. And they may or may not come from a fintech background in terms of academic training, because it wasn't that long ago that the local universities or even overseas universities started to churn out fintech graduates with fintech specializations, let alone a major, right? So they are looking for a very rigorous and industry relevant program that are put together by professionals and practitioners as well as academics, right? I mean, we don't want it to be an academic exercise, so it has to be a good blend of both the academia and the industry. We have professionals who are already working at the intersection of finance and tech, and they have no time to keep reading all kinds of papers, all kinds of posts in LinkedIn that comes up every other day. And joining this program was a shortcut for them, because everything, all the latest information as well as the knowledge concepts have already been tidied up and consolidated into a very structured, well-structured program. We have tech, the third group of people. We have the finance and tech professionals. We have people from investment banking, from venture capital funds, or from private, from equity companies and so forth, or people who are already working in fintech companies, tech companies, right? And they are currently leading teams in the relevant in their own companies, and they are looking at plugging gaps. I think as you start to lead new projects in digitalization, innovation, be it in banks, in exchanges and so forth, you realize that although you have a group of competent employees working under you, doing all the hardcore tech work or finance work, you start to be aware of the gaps, and being able to better communicate with this group, your teammates, your team members, in their respective verticals. And lastly, we have industry regulators. We have people joining us from the Central Bank of Cambodia. We have people who are working in the CBIRC in China and so forth. And interestingly, we also have law enforcers of financial crime who have joined us in this program this year in the inaugural cohort. And I think my guess is that they are in here pretty much to have a systematic overview of the disruptions that's happening to the financial services and monetary system, and bring back with them a different angle to their work. And these are the companies that we see our candidates coming from. This is a very recently done because we have just completed our, I wouldn't say just, but we have wrapped up the candidates list for the inaugural cohort, and these are where our candidates are currently employed in. So you'll see the central banks, the central bankers and the regulators. We see the typical lineup of people from banks, right? We also, of course, our very firm supporters, we have candidates coming from very familiar names in the fintech industry. And we have people who are coming outside of this world, outside of the ecosystem, right? And joining us, and of course, they are people who are thinking of making some changes in their career. And the list continues. So the CFtP qualification, to give you some sense, it's not born out of nowhere, all right? It has a very long, it has come a long way, and it's actually it's currently being operated by the Global FinTech Institute, but we work very closely with SUSS, as well as the Shanghai University of Finance and Economics. Under them, there is this Shanghai Institute of International Finance Center, very closely they are our founding academic partners, and the CFtP curriculum, the current version of it, is actually devised and designed jointly by academics and industry practitioners come from these three institutions. And Global FinTech Institute, we are guided by 3 councils. They continue to provide us very prompt insights from academia and the industry, as well as from the international scene. So all these information can be found on our website, and so I will not bore you with them. So allow me to share an overview of the program, right? So CFtP, as I said, it stands for the Chartered Fintech Professional. It is a self-study program that consists of 2 levels. If some of you are familiar with how other PQs like CFA works, it's a tiered qualification. Basically, you continue going up the ladder until you are able to attain a charter. So for us, it's 2 levels, and upon completion of the exams for the 2 levels and satisfying a 2-year professional experience requirement, candidates will be awarded a charter. So we have come along 1.5 years, almost close to 2 years from the inception of this concept of CFtP. And today we have already completed the first exams of the level 1 of the CFtP. That's not too long ago, just like in October. And the first main exam cycle is taking place in December this year. And from next year onwards, the CFtP exams will be conducted every July and December. So that is how our annual calendar and clock is going to go. The program is highly accessible because in GFI and in the founding philosophy of this program, like mentioned by Ying Hui just now about NiFT, is inclusive, not exclusive. So with that in mind, exams for CFtP can be taken completely online and remotely. And we have worked with a very established provider, Prometric, who also conducts the CFA exams in the global space to provide this testing service. So of course, in some cities, in-center testing is possible. So we have signups from literally everywhere. We have people signing up and registering from South Africa, from Ghana, from London, Indonesia, Cambodia, Thailand, so forth, Malaysia, and so forth. So that's the reach of this program, and that's what it's meant to be. This is the program structure of CFtP. As you see, if you are already dabbling in this space, by looking at these topic sentences, you could have some sensing of what we are trying to do here, right? So the idea behind this program structure is that we want to bridge the gap between finance and tech. So it's designed to be a tech-like program. So we are definitely not training developers or people who are going to do programming and so forth, but more of people who are able to understand and appreciate the important concepts in both domains. And that's why you see in 1A, we have finance. We go into everything about portfolio management, about derivatives, equities, and so forth. And of course, things like FSA is all very critical to the finance function in any company, let alone a fintech company. And then in level 1B, we go into the basics of fintech, data structures, big data, data science, AI, machine learning, computer network security. And in level 2, we move on to a more applicational and practitioner base of learning, basically dealing with a few of these key topics that we've identified as very critical to fintech companies. AI ethics and governance is a highlight of our program. Ethics in this space, the fintech space, is a relatively new topic compared to the more established industries in finance and investments. But with technology advancing very quickly, governance also becomes an issue that we believe should be seriously taken up and looked into. And of course, then in these two parts of level 2, we look at trends as well, global fintech trend, and that's a part of the curriculum that's going to be very dynamic, and it will keep on evolving as the trends themselves evolve. Let me have a check of the time. Okay, I have less than 15 minutes. So this is whole program pathway. Okay, this is how the whole professional qualification will look like. There are basically 5 papers and 2 levels, spread across 2 levels. All right, we have the foundation paper at level 1AB is a compulsory exam for everybody, and then we have the level 1A and 1B, which brings you a bit more up to speed. And these are the papers that are potentially exemptable, meaning that if you come from a relevant backgrounds, we have people who are CFA charter holders, they're naturally exempted from 1A. We have people who are already working in the tech function and think that companies or they have the relevant academic background. These are the people who will qualify for exemption. And of course, we have university programs which we have accredited, the NUS BBA program, the NUS MFin program, the SUSS BFin and MFin programs, and so forth. And in the next online is SMU, Masters of Applied Finance, and so forth. So we are working very closely with universities and relevant programs to offer their students exemptions in the relevant papers. And then we will move to the level 2. These are the compulsory exams. So after passing all these papers, and with the 2 years fintech related work experience, one can achieve the charter. So by joining the program, you get access to the study guides. Naturally, it's a self-study program, so the study guides feature very importantly in the whole learning journey of the CFtP candidate. So we work directly with the publisher, World Scientific, as an official publishing partner to provide an online version of the study guides which is inclusive in your entire fees when you register for the program. And candidates who want to purchase the hard copies, these books are already being published. Most of them I think the first few are already available on the website. You can buy them off the WSPC website, and subsequently the subsequent ones for level 2 will be rolled out by the end of the year. And these books are available globally because World Scientific has a global publishing distribution network. So as I mentioned, exemptions. So we welcome people who bring with them experience in their relevant domain, in their respective domains of finance or tech, and we will evaluate exemption applications either based on academic background or your work experience. This is how the CFtP fee structure is like. It consists of 3 components. We have the program enrollment fee, which is a one-time payment that gives you a 5-year candidature. We have the examination registration fee, which is $1,000 for each level. So that's a $2,000 outlay here. And of course, if you fail and you retake, those will cost you extra money. And we also have the CFtP is the annual membership dues. This is the cost of joining GFI as a professional industry association, and the funds of this membership dues will be used to fund future CPE initiatives, which is also part and parcel of the CFtP, of maintaining a charter in CFtP, right? And we have, based on starting from this year, been rather generous in terms of scholarships. So we do offer scholarships to students, current undergraduate students of our accredited programs, the few that I named just now, with SUSS, NUS, and subsequently SMU. So if any of you or any of these interested candidates are actually current students of these accredited programs, you are able to apply for scholarships. And of course, the scholarships are also rolled out to emerging markets, because that's another focal point of CFtP, and that is a separate conversation, but more information can be made available on the website, on our website. This is an important point about enrollment criteria. Scholarships, okay, I will come to that later. Wei Jing and Berlin. All right, so program enrollment criteria is pretty straightforward. You need to be at least 21 years old. Final year students currently pursuing their undergraduate studies are also eligible to register with notifying, and you need to notify us when you are graduating. And otherwise, then the general rule of thumb is that you need to possess at least a bachelor's degree or equivalent, or you could also be a holder of a relevant PQ, professional qualification, if you do not have a degree. But yes, and there are special cases, if there are any special cases where coming from very senior people in the industry who do not have a bachelor's, then we look at the CV of these persons as well. But otherwise, this is pretty much a clear-cut enrollment criteria. Exams are conducted globally, so they are in English. So, but we currently do not have any requirement of having to see any sort of English qualification of people who are coming with degree from non-English as a main language kind of program background, right? And this is how the 2022 exam schedule will look like. Basically, like mentioned just now, every July and December, there's one window each, one in July and the second one is in December. And typically we have a 2-month period for people to take the foundation. You pass it and you are able to move on to the subsequent papers that you are required to take. So this information will be on our website, but this is just to give you a sense of the timings of the year, so that you don't miss any kind of deadline. So basically we close in the first quarter for the July cycle, and we close by end of Q3, close to the end of Q3 for the December cycle in terms of registration for new registrations. This is our just where we are. We actually work out of the ATRR on most days, and you have I mean, that's where we are currently located. So if any of you co-work in the area, feel free to make an appointment and meet up with us if you are interested to learn more about the program or just want to chat about CFtP and so forth, what we do. And we will put up more announcements in a more current manner, in a more prompt manner on our LinkedIn page. So just look for GFI, Global FinTech Institute in LinkedIn, and you will be able to catch up with the announcements and our newest updates. The question about scholarships, right? So if you are one of these, so basically we're looking at two types of scholarships. One would be people who are currently undergraduate students of these accredited programs. There will be a scholarship application window. And then to people from emerging markets, women in fintech and so forth, we have other separate categories. So this information is going to be up on the website. It's not up there yet because for the first cycle, we did a very small scale kind of announcement via the programs. But for the upcoming window, we'll be putting up this information on our website. Right. So I hope that addresses your question, Adrenaline, sorry. Yes. So I've come to the end of my presentation. So if you have any questions, I can share my email here in the chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to just drop me a note. We can set up a call or something to discuss whatever you want to know about the program, right? So thank you everyone for your very kind attention, and I think we will be hanging on here for a little while more if there are any more questions. Thank you everyone. I think we were told that there was a networking session or breakout room somewhere. So I think, is that right? Am I right, Benjamin?
Yes, so there is
Okay.
a networking room, but
Oh, okay.
y'all can actually stay in this room after 12, just that it will no longer be recorded.
Sure.
The breakout
think
room
we
will
are-
not be closed.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All good. Andrelyn, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Are you one of the, are you currently studying?
No, I'm heading I think doing some like forward thinking like I'm going to SMU hopefully if they accept
Okay.
me. Yeah, then I thought it was quite interesting because I'm interested in fintech, and then I
Okay.
think it's like a chartered financial accountant cert, right? But like make it fintech context.
It's a charter, yes. It's a chartered
Yeah.
qualification.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I thought it was quite interesting lah. Like
Are you about to enter SMU or bachelor's or master's?
tentatively next of August.
Okay.
Yeah.
Into the bachelor's degree?
Yeah.
Okay, then you're really doing very much forward thinking. That's very interesting.
Yeah. I still know what major I want. Probably finance, I guess.
Okay. Okay. I think
Yeah.
increasingly the different finance programs in the local IHLs, they are moving towards not just the traditional finance, because I think no one can run away from tech
Right.
anymore in finance. So they're partnering either within the school, or they are just bring in baskets of either relating to data or relating to fintech kind of specialization and tracks for students who are entering, like, let's say, the finance majors. So I think in SUSS is very obvious the slant towards fintech. I think now, based on what we know, we're after speaking to SMU and NUS, is pretty much the same. They're introducing this kind of baskets.
Yeah. Hopefully, like I guess fintech is what we see moving forward, right? Like if you're not gonna adapt, you're probably gonna be left behind when everyone's advancing, correct? So
Very right.
yeah, so I know I'm just starting as like a poly graduate, right? Probably by the time I go into like the workforce, right, blockchain is gonna be such a common thing. Like blockchain adoption is gonna be everywhere. Now it's still like mid phase where it's we are experimenting, but I'm pretty sure like we are so advanced now. I'm pretty sure 5 years down the road, it will be a very common thing to see really.
I don't think we need 5 years, right?
Yeah, I think it's lesser than that. COVID has advanced a lot of things.
That's true. Yeah, I think it's great that you're thinking and planning already for your next couple of years of studies.
I was wondering if like the bonds, right? Like probably in SMU, not sure yet, but for SUSS, right, is there like a bond? Like a bond, like I mean, there's a scholarship, right? You say from the SUSS side, there's a scholarship. Can I just ask if like there is a bond, or anything behind the scholarship?
Maybe Ying-Hui can take it.
I'm not aware of a bond. You mean the scholarship for the CFtP exams, right?
Yeah.
I don't think so, right?
No. I thought they were asking about JSS. So no, we basically want to, because we understand that undergraduates don't have such deep pockets, right? So we really want to help and the enlightened ones be able to handle the fees of the program. So it comes without well, no bond.
strings.
We just hope no strings. We just hope
No
that you will
strings.
eventually will go into the industry and work in the industry and be an active contributor to the ecosystem.
Right.
And even for adult learners, we are also currently exploring but it's more for the emerging markets where our fees are not so accessible compared to the more mature economies. So when we're dealing with those candidates from emerging markets, we besides looking at their CVs, we also try. We will, for that sense, we also do not hold them to a bond because it's not 20,000, it's maybe 2-3K US. So we just hope that these people will eventually become our ambassadors after they have benefited from the program and help to spread the good word about the program and encourage people, like-minded people around them to join. Yeah, so no strings.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look out for it when I
Yes.
when I go into SMU and then it's available. I mean,
Yes.
what better time to do it while in uni, right?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think
like studying, you have no other like strings, like no other commitments per se. Imagine you have to work and then you have to study like at night.
very, very good thinking, because we have a lot of people who are working now studying on taking this program, and these are the people who are really like I would say they're struggling, but because they have been out of school for so long, it takes a lot of discipline and a lot of effort to really sit down and make sure that you revise and know enough to pass the exams.
Right.
So we realized that the final year students, we have quite a few people who are currently on the various local IHLs our scholarship for the programs, and we also have scholarships from corporate sponsors. These are the people who are handling better. They don't complain about the load. They're just happily revising and preparing for the exams. So I think the machine is more well geared for exams.
I can
final year
imagine.
level.
I'm like in internship now, and then if you ask me to go back to school to study, right, I'm like, I cannot do it. I'm not fit for the test anymore.
And soon you will be. Soon you will be.
Yeah, had to get my gear started before uni.
Yeah, but once you're in the system, you will go with the flow, and it will happen. It will just it will happen naturally. Just to get to go back to it. Yeah. I see. Chai Ju, just now you were asking about partnerships with startups, and you're looking for blockchain like talents. Are you looking for interns, or how could we convey your message better to the NiFT group?
Yeah, not more than interns, because